What is mouth brooding? Well, mouth brooding is a method of incubation that has been proven to increase odds of survival for the eggs. So mouth brooding is the non-typical way of incubating eggs in the mouth of the fish. There are two types of mouth brooders, paternal and maternal. Some examples of paternal include arowana and black-chin tilapia. Examples of maternal are much more abundant and very common. Nearly all of the African cichlids that you are familiar with are maternal mouth breeders. So maternal means that the female is the one holding the eggs once they are fertilized, while paternal is when the male holds the eggs. Since maternal is much more common, I'm going to focus specifically on that type of mouth brooders. So how does mouth brooding happen? So typically, the female will release her eggs and then scoop them up into her mouth. This is where egg spots come into play. The female will see the egg spots on the male's anal fin and maybe mistakes them to be more eggs that she missed. So egg spots are roundish, maybe orangish colored spots on the male anal fin that look similar to eggs. So the female will swim towards the egg spots on the male, thinking that they're eggs that she missed. When she gets close enough, the male will release sperm, which will fertilize the eggs. This process will continue about 10 or so times, really until the female loses interest or she finds out that it was a trick of the male. This marks the end of the courting process. Once the female has fertilized eggs in her mouth, for about 21 to 36 days, depending on the species and temperature. Generally, the higher the temperature is the shorter incubation process because they develop faster. But depending on the species and temperature, the female will hold the eggs until they are free swimming fry. The female will release the fry when they've used up all their egg sacs and they need to get a different food source. So egg sacs are the little sacs that you find on fry, and they're basically nutrient enriched and they're able to support the fry for the first few weeks of their lives. This way the female doesn't need to find them food at the beginning and they get the best quality food very early in their life to grow healthy. So, for a few weeks after the fry are free swimming, the female will stay very near the fry and scoop them into her mouth whenever she feels threatened, just in order to protect them. So she does this whenever another big fish or just another fish of her size comes near, because they will try to eat them and she obviously does not want that to happen. So she stays near and she makes sure they're all safe. Once they're too big to fit into her mouth, she lets them off on their own and then her job is done. So once they're too big to fit in her mouth, once they're probably a quarter inch or more, they're too big to fit in her mouth and she really has no use to protect them and they have to survive on their own. In this set of their time of their life, many of them do get eaten, but there's a good amount of them that do survive while hiding in rocks and other hiding positions. So egg spots on the male anal fin actually have just a much bigger role than just tricking the female. It has been discovered that females prefer males with egg spots because it symbolizes health to them. Although it's not necessary to breed, egg spots have been found to also prime females to breed more often with larger quantities. It's even reported to double the yield of eggs sometimes. Another very evolutionary advanced characteristic found in mouth breeders is the female's ability to determine whether an egg is fertile or not. While she's holding the eggs, if she detects an unfertilized egg, she will release it before it can cause harm. It can cause harm because unfertilized eggs are are prone to getting diseases or parasites that feed on them, and those parasites eventually grow and kill all the other healthy eggs. So when the female spits the unfertilized egg, she ensures the safety of the fry, or of the healthy fry. Females are extra cautious to make sure their healthy eggs do not get diseased. While holding her eggs, she is constantly moving them around in her mouth. If you're watching a holding female, you can see her chin shaking, moving around a little bit, which is her moving the eggs around. So when they're moving, it prevents mold, diseases, and parasites from getting onto the eggs and makes them a lot healthier. Ranging largely based on species, a female can yield from 100, anywhere from 1 to hundreds of eggs. Generally, the larger of the fish that is holding, the more quantity that you will see her holding. While incubating the eggs, a female either eats nothing or very little, which makes her very weak and stressed out. Holding females are commonly found to be extra timid and always hide as a result. Well, that marks the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed and learned something new and helpful. For more videos like this, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. If I didn't answer a question of yours, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. And before I let you guys go, I want to ask you guys a question. What do you think was the coolest fact or topic that I talked about in this video? Please let me know in the comments. And also, for any suggestions for my future videos, also let me know in the comments because it definitely helps me out and I'm happy to learn more. To stay up to date with my channel, please subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now let me just give you guys a closer look at some of these yellow labs. As you can see, they're all very healthy. They're starting to get a lot bigger and very active as well. And something very unique in these yellow labs is yellow labs generally tend to be a little timid, but these guys are not really afraid of me at all, which is very, very fun. I put my hand on the side of the tank and they all bunch up around there. Again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed.